Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well on this somewhat unseasonably warm 49 degrees here in Brecksville, Ohio. Thursday. Now it's afternoon. It is 12:05. Because I did my Facebook Live in my head. I thought all about it, and then I got distracted and it stayed in my head. And Melanie said that didn't count, that I had to actually do it for it to count. I agree. But anyway, so I wanted to share something a little bit, different this morning or today, on this. And because I was, now I'm trying to decide where to start. I am part of the North Central Jurisdiction delegation, and which is just, it is people from our conference, our area, that have been elected to go and participate on the United Methodist Church on a larger level. Okay, so one of the things that we did was we had a special session of our jurisdiction. So the United Methodist delegates from churches in all over Ohio, East and West Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, over to Iowa, Minnesota, and other states that I don't remember in this very moment. But we met, and Indiana, that's another one. And we voted on making some changes in our jurisdiction. And it's really just around the Episcopal areas, the areas of the bishop. So this is very kind of like not local church level, but it affects us because it changes the way we're organized. And combining East Ohio Conference and West Ohio Conference under one bishop. So one bishop will oversee both conferences. It's kind of like a 2-point charge for a bishop, where a 2-point charge is a pastor that has 2 churches, 1 pastor. So we did vote that through. We voted to do that, combining another 2 conferences into one Episcopal area, keeping the conferences combined, sharing a bishop. But I share that because I saw a comment about that change, and then we've reduced the number of districts in our conference from 10 to 4, and that's really just to kind of be good stewards of finances. And we have less churches than we did however many years ago when they set up the districts. And so somebody shared on Facebook how, well, this just isn't the church that that it used to be. This isn't the church that I grew up in. And I understand, I want to say first that I understand what they meant when they said it. And there is a lot of grief around change. There's a lot of grief, especially I think around change in a church, because church isn't just a logical thing. It's not just a head thing, but it's also a heart, and you have these experiences and it's a much deeper connection, I think, than for some people, particularly, than just any other organization, right? So there's grief and there's struggle that go along with the changes, and absolutely, I am there with you. It is sad to see things change, and if it was the same church that it was, I don't know, 25 years ago, that would be bad, because the world is not the same as it was 25 years ago. It would be unfortunate. It would be sad. It wouldn't be good, because the world has changed. And even though we have long ago, like before COVID, we talked about that granite, right? And that sand. The granite are the things that never change. That's our foundation, that is strong. And that is the Jesus. That is the message, the the mission of Jesus and that foundation of we are standing on the message of Jesus and Jesus's call to go and to transform the world with God's love and to share it into all nations all around the world. That foundation is granite and doesn't change. But then we have that sand, the way we do things, the way we do live that out changes. And so while like we don't conform to the world, right? We have that foundation and we are always doing that. We are always loving people because of Jesus. We're loving people on behalf of Jesus and caring for people and working for justice and all of those disciple things. We're growing in our faith and our understanding of God. We're always doing that. But the way it looks is different because people are different and we have different ways of doing that. And so I guess I just wanted to share this because it was just, because we're going through like changes in the local church, right? Like we have this new governance structure and we're excited about it and it's opening up all kinds of opportunities and we have questions and we're trying to figure it out because it's new and it's different. And we are doing this on the greater church level and we're doing this on a world level, a society level of just having these changes and figuring out what does this new world with AI, right? With all of these things, what does that look like? And so it's exciting. And it's also, there's that fear and that trepidation that's with it. But for me, that excitement about where the Spirit is leading and listening for that Spirit and responding to the Spirit, that overcomes all of the uncertainty for me. Because I shared with the leadership board in the church these 7 trends that we're seeing in coming into 2024 that are changing the church. And they're trends that we're seeing here in Brexley United Methodist Church. And some of it is the ways that we're connecting, the ways people are connecting to the church and finding meaning in the church and meaning in God. And the different generations and the transitions that happen with that and all types of things. But listening to those and seeing the possibilities of where God is already working in the midst of the changes, where God is bringing new life, where there wasn't life before, or creating transformation, having those moments of transformation where there was life, but maybe now it's just new and it's different. Those are the exciting things for me. And those are the things where, yes, change is sad and the church isn't what it used to be. It's very different. And that's kind of cool because if we were the same thing, then we wouldn't be relevant and that wouldn't be good for Jesus. Does that make sense? I hope, give me like a thumbs up or something. But, I hope that we can, as children of God, as Christians, as followers of Jesus, that in the midst of the uncertainty and the change and the sadness and all of the real, I don't want to diminish any of that, all of that realness, we lean into the Spirit and we lean into the possibilities and those incredible things that we haven't even imagined yet. This is something that I've been talking about for a long time, but it keeps popping up because we keep seeing changes. Like the world is changing faster and faster. And so how do we remain on that granite and on that solid foundation of Jesus, trusting in the Spirit while also being open to the ways that the sand is moving, right? So I challenge you to think about that in your own life. It might have something to do with the church and the way that you are currently following Jesus and the way that you are feeling led to deepen that connection and deepen that that discipleship journey and to dig into scripture and to prayer. And it might have something to do with engaging with the church community in a different way, or living out forms of justice. But I encourage you to think about what that change looks like in your life, and where you can see the Spirit working and leading you, and having those moments. Now we're going back to last week's sermon, those moments of listening for the Spirit, of Deborah sitting under the tree and attuning herself to God's wisdom so that she can guide and care for God's people in the best way possible. So anyway, you can tell I'm excited about this, and you can see my plants in the background. These are my church plants. Yeah, I like plants. They remind me of God. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you are able to see God in the midst of your life and to know that you are loved. And I hope you're able to join us on Sunday. I'm really enjoying this series of Faces of Our Faith. This week, we're actually going to be reading the scripture, the Good Friday scripture. We're going to be reading the scripture of Jesus's death on the cross and being taken down from the cross. And we're going to be focusing on Joseph of Arimathea. It's a scripture we read every single year, and we pass by Joseph of Arimathea and don't actually think about what he did and taking that step of asking to take Jesus's body down, carrying Jesus and placing him in a tomb, and the power that is in that. And so, yeah, join us on Sunday. We talk about it. 8:30 service, we meditate on that scripture and think about different questions. And that's online as well as in person. And then at 9:30, Jenny is doing a Visio Divina and like meditating on pictures, on art that through the ages about that scripture, about Joseph of Arimathea. And then at 10:30, we have our worship in the sanctuary, and we will be talking about and singing and just living into that message in the scripture. So I invite you to join us there, and then also just know that you're loved. And I will see you all soon. Bye. I can't get the button. I had to press the button. Okay, bye.